Good evening, and welcome back to Sleeve of Consciousness. I'm Jimmy O'Brien, and I'm going to be sleeving and showing off a really random bunch of cards tonight. I have not curated the drawer. This is pulled out of my collection. It is not organized, and that is why I'm doing this. Gonna pull out something else that I found next to an organized drawer, however. Gonna show off one of my favorite fake cards in my collection. First, notice that it is from the Team Rocket set, the apparent second edition. They're very rare. I've not seen another card with an addition 2 stamp. Also, it's a trainer card of Raikou. Please note that Raikou is not normally a trainer card if you're unfamiliar with Pokemon. And finally, they picked one of the wildest trainer cards imaginable to steal the text from. Ask your opponent if he or she accepts your challenge. If your opponent declines, or if both benches are full, draw 2 cards. If your opponent accepts, each of you searches your decks for any number of basic Pokemon, puts them face down onto your benches. Player can't do this if his or her bench is full. When you both have finished, shuffle your decks and turn those cards face up. Yeah, so amazing foresight on their part that this is compatible with Skyfield and Eviltall. Not Eviltall. Gosh. Oh no, I can't think of that other dark guy's name. Somebody's gonna get me in the comments on this one. Oh man. Oh, it's such a big deck. This is embarrassing. I could go and re-record the video, but I'm not that kind of guy. Okay. Eternatus. Hey, there he is. Eternatus. It's compatible with Eternatus. Okay. So we're gonna start at the front of the drawer, work our way to the back, and talk about the cards we find along the way. Okay, so we got some boundaries crossed cards here. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll sleeve the rares. They're reasonably good rares. Okay, so we're going to start off here with White Curium. White Curium is the not good Curium within this set. It requires fire and water energies, even though you could conceivably power it up with a Blastoise from also Boundaries Crossed. It is not worth it, especially because you have to flip a coin to do the bonus damage. You want the one that does discarding of energies for the bonus damage, like the black Curium does. This Grumpig is not good at all, but it is a foil rare. Let's put him in his own pile for now. Shaman, not a good Shaman, but it knows Call for Family. For a bad card, it's pretty good. Could have probably had resistance to fighting. I don't know if that form has the right typing. Tail, just happy to be here. Camerupt. This Camerupt looks so. Something about the tonal nature on his face just looks fake. But it's real. Liepard. Not a great card. Snorlax. Not a good card, but can do more art. So it could be worse. Frillish. Frillish just chilling. Love that it includes both male and female Frillish on the card, so you're kind of not like picking favorites here. So these Tynamos are probably here because they were a reasonable choice to play for their free retreat cost, 30 hit points, and evolving into electric. They're not going to earn a sleeve though. Druddigon, kind of cool in mid-range decks at the time, but not great. Ralts, Ralts just a contender. It's a playset. They're gonna earn a sleeve. Ralts just reasonably good to evolve into Gardevoir or Gallade. Mana. Jazzy. Yes, I'm guessing these were just cards I thought I might find useful back. Oh, this is Dark Explorers. Yeah, so great art here. Different perspectives on the airplane situation. Chansey's got the Pokemon Center in the background. High context Pokemon cards, folks. Okay, so we got Flareon, Minun. Yeah, so we. Okay, you know what? Trubbish is good. Trubbish is a different level. Oh, not the good Tynamo. Oh, but another one. Oh, Mewtwo EX. Yeah, so Mewtwo EX is great design because it is definitely harkening back to the old school Mewtwo, the movie promo that everyone loved playing in their decks because it was a fantastic card. Uh, gonna sleeve up these energies while I'm at it though, because they are reasonably good. All in all, I got five subpar dynamos here, and two prism energies. Prism energies are still a fantastic card and expanded, but definitely outclassed. They are not the first four special energy that your deck is going to want to run. Garbage collection, Trubbish, 10 less hit points than the Trubbish you might otherwise run, but it is definitely the strongest attack on a Trubbish. Yeah, Mewtwo X, I'm also going to just highlight how stunning this card is in terms of the foil pattern. I will say for the people who really love where their foil spots are out on the print sheet, I think Mewtwo did pretty good with the Salt Bay hand having a little bit above and a little trail of them. I don't know if a little trail of sparkles in the foil swirl going there. I'm not going to re-sleeve this. The sleeve is in perfectly fine shape. Got some kind of gross empty sleeves. Those are going to not stick around. I don't know why I didn't sort them out sooner. Okay, what do we got? We got some rares. Dark penalty. I thought it's a death penalty. I was like, whoa, they can't do that. It's too harsh, folks. Yeah, so Muck, not great. Yeah, Weavile was supposed to be like the anti-tool drop attacker, I guess. Just not good enough. And like one for 90 is almost outclassed now. Bronzong with heal block here. Again, not good enough. It's no accident that these cards were together. They're not seeing play. Got a black and white Zebstrika here. You know, people talk about different foil patterns. You can see that there's really just minor damage in this because the foil is like so sensitive. This is probably just from being side by side with other cards. It is the kind of lowest barrier you could imagine. Okay, let's put those back with the rest of them for now. Okay, so I got some special energies going on. Yeah, so non-foil, special darks, perfectly good staples. Yeah, and then we've got some stuff here that is definitely sleeve worthy, and something's wrong with me that I had a bunch of empty sleeves next to this and did not have this sleeved. Yeah, so we've got Espeon here with Evolution Memories. Espeon can use the attacks of all Pokemon you have in play that can evolve from Eevee as its own. You still need necessary energy to use each attack. Great wording on this, because if you found a way to get one of those Pokemon into play other than normal means, they still evolve from Eevee. And so you can still use this guy. But unfortunately, it wasn't really legal with great options to take advantage of it. This would have been awesome in Flareon Vespiquen, that you could have used the Psychic Attacker in addition to your Vengeance Flareon. We got Sweet Sleeping Face Tyrogue. Much better than the original Tyrogue because the damage was guaranteed. You kind of knew that you weren't going to flip into your opponent's baby. And then going to sleep was actually a huge advantage as long as the coin flips did not strongly go against you. Okay, Dodrio, again, a Pokemon that's an homage to older cards. Yeah, so this card actually got first place at the Tropical Mega Battle in the Wayback Machine. Being able to retreat for free was enormously important. Okay, and again, great Mewtwo. This one definitely saw somewhere surface is not looking pristine. But energy absorption into Cyburn, that is the most Mewtwo thing of Mewtwo's to do. You know, it's But look at the difference between old EXs and new, not even like new enough to be in expanded new cards, but just newer cards. Same, almost the same hit points, worse retreat, better attacks, a third attack. It's just in sometimes when you do the side by side comparison, the power creep is staggering. Okay, so great looking Ninetales here from Call of Legends. Foil pattern is immaculate. There's great depth to the card. It is hard at many angles to kind of see what's going on in the background, but they have the Firestone here. So from the Game Boy games, like gosh, I'm probably old. From the video games, you use the Firestone to evolve Vulpix into Flareon. Sorry, Vulpix into Ninetales. Gosh, and it's cool that they kind of brought that over. Excelgor, still in expanded, great card. Deck and cover is fantastic. Shuffle in. A great way for stall decks to both to not run out of stuff to do and keep you locked up. Carnivine, cool, not good enough. That's all I got to say about that. Espeon, Solar Revelation, great for preventing you from having status effects, causes huge headaches for that guy I just showed you. Now, we got some old school double colorless energies here. So there's actually four different versions you're looking at. We've got 2 foreign language first edition versions, which actually correspond with the shadowed American printing. We've also got a shadowless non-first edition double colorless energy here. So these guys each are worthy of their own sleeve. Double colorless energy is one of the quintessential WoW cards of Pokemon. I know that some people don't love that it kind of has such an outsized presence in formats that it lives in, but it is, it's a card that, for those of us that grew up with it, we were kind of astounded that they ever brought it back. Like, if you had asked me for cards from base set that I never expected to return to Pokemon, I would have told you double colorless. I would have told you, these are not the good Zarwas, but dang. I would have told you double colorless. I would have told you Gust of Wind, which we saw return. I would have told you a lot of cards that we've seen, honestly. And if someone who's played as long as I have can't predict, it just goes to show that none of us can predict the future. But yeah, I would pick Gust of Wind. I would have picked Computer Search. I would not have picked the version of Computer Search that we got as an ace spec. The nature of making it an ace spec really slams the utility of it. Got this Dark Explorer's Volcarone here. Further to that end, Item Finder / Dowsing Machine, I would not have expected to come back. And I also definitely would not have expected Pokemon Trader to come back, not because it was too good, it just felt too niche. And they've kind of made this philosophical move away from people as what we would now consider items. So in that sense, Pokemon Trader getting an item update makes sense because they would no longer do it that way. But I'm still kind of, I guess, surprised they didn't go the supporter route with Trader. Maybe give it an updated name. The anime episode where Ash kind of does his trade for Eradicate and then trades back. That is definitely a weird one, and I don't think they would base it off that. So looking at some of these cards here, these are actually, now I'm hitting some of the better cards from their respective metagames. Retaliate Terrakion was widely played. You would be able to power it up all in one turn due to Celebi Prime. You'd play a Fighting or a Prism from your hand, drop the Grass for the colorless requirement, and hit people for 90, often for weakness. Also fantastic that you could follow up next turn just by dropping one more energy down and hitting them for a 90. I'm going to call it an honest 90, no tricks needed. Vanillux and Swanna, why would these be together? The answer is because Mew Prime. There was a weird Mew Prime deck that I think primarily Jason Klasinski was interested in, but this was at a time when Jason was playing Standard very actively. He was one of the top players in the game at that time, so of course many of us wanted to make sure we had the stuff to make those decks go. I think Colin Petterick was also playing around with those. I think he was local to Jason. They were buddy, which is cool. Unpheasant was part of that deck as well, and yeah, just a lot of options. You could use Mew to basically get the attacks of a stage 2 onto a basic, and then you'd use Victini to reflip your coin flips. Oh, and yeah, so here's some more cards from that era and kind of those strategies. This is great. Okay, so I'm gonna put the double colors in the sleeve with the others because there's 3, and this makes it a play set of 4. Okay, so we got Relicanth. So this is not a rare, but it's actually a common from Call of Legends. Prehistoric Wisdom lets you Lost Zone any card from your hand and then draw 3. Fantastic to get rid of a Pokemon with this, to have access to that Pokemon for Mew Prime. Granite Head, not a good attack. It's better than not having the attack, but it's simply not good. I liked that Mew Prime conceivably could struggle with Lost World and Gengar Prime, that Gengar could try to double down on what you were doing to force you into a loss. It created an interesting trade-off within the metagame. I don't know that it ever mattered. Again, I mentioned the sensitive foil pattern. This Gloom probably saw a ton of play, so it's not overly sensitive, but a lot of other eras of cards would have looked better given that level of play. Yeah, so looks like something scratched for Shaman at some point. But otherwise, pretty looking card. Again, not a good Shaman, but good for a bad card. Like if this card existed in base set, we'd have a huge talk about how good it is. Instead, it's a bad card from, gosh, that's not Stormfront. Platinum. It's from Platinum. On one hand, I feel old. On the other hand, there's too many set symbols. Okay, so Call for Family and Tickle. Not among the best EVs, but it was among the best for its format. I really appreciate Weavile G. It's a card that wins in a lot of ways. One, it's set within the Pokemon world. Specifically, you see the little satellite there. It is specifically one of Cyrus's Pokemon of Team Galactic. It's got the moon, which is always looking beautiful in the foil. It's got great depth. It's even kind of surreal that there's the foreground, the background, and the sparkles of the foil going on in the middle. And finally, Call for Family. Getting you SP Pokemon sets up your Power Spray. These Sneasels are largely unrelated to that Weavology, but they are also not as good as the Sneasel they are based on. The Sneasel they're based on, of course, is the one from Neo Genesis that has just as many hit points, the exact same attacks, and no weakness and 10 extra resistance. Fermenting Liquid Shuckle. This, I'm pretty confident to say this is the best Shuckle that's ever been printed. Shuckle GX stands need not come at me in the comments, but if you feel better, go for it. I love that it attacks for grass, but it's a fighting guy, so it can add some diversity. Fermenting Liquid. When you attach an energy from your hand to Shuckle, draw a card. This card is made for antics. If you have a way to get damage onto Shuckle, and then put a ton of energy from a Magnezone, an Emboar, or a Blastoise from your hand onto Shuckle, and then bounce Shuckle to your hand, you're going to draw an enormous number of cards, which is a ton of fun, but you probably use your supporter to do it. On the other hand, in ZPST, that is short for Zekrom Pachirisu Shaman Tornadus, you'd be able to put energy from your hand onto Shuckle, and then use Shaman to move the energy to the appropriate target and draw a card for your trouble. It also meant that as you're diversifying your bench, you could play energy on a Shuckle, and if your opponent wanted to use a Pokemon catcher to knock out the energy, they would knock out a Shuckle, and they would not knock out one of your attackers. All the while, you have drawn a card for your troubles. Okay, so I love Mass Attack Jumpluff. I played this to go undefeated at Pennsylvania States. I don't think I ever used Leaf Guard, but Mass Attack, doing 10 damage times the number of Pokemon in play, yours and your opponent's, was fantastic. It was great in a few ways. Number one, even though Spiritomb using Darkness Grace would be awesome, or having your opponent having other ways to shut off your items like Ghastly would be awesome, you could really power through with Mass Attack. I don't think Spiritomb was legal yet, though, as I'm trying to recall this. The two primary decks in the format were SP decks, I think. Yes, SP was legal, as was Machamp. And Jumpluff loved playing against both of those. Jumpluff was resistant to fighting, which meant that their Machamp would need to get 4 heads off of its second attack to knock out Jumpluff in one hit. Jumpluff could probably not knock out Machamp in one hit unless you were also able to utilize some Crobats and Expert Belts and that kind of thing, which you did. That being said, being able to kind of retreat without penalty into a fresh Jumpluff to score the Machamp KO, your deck was just more athletic than theirs. They were using 2 energy, you're using 1. Another sweet Sleeping Face Tyrogue. That one's from Call of Legends. Rescue Energy. Rescue Energy is a fantastic card. It lets you get back a Pokemon that's KO'd by damage from your opponent's attack. This card could always be interesting if it ever came back for a fresh format. I don't know that we're going to see that, though. It's been so long, it's tough to say. I guess I just had a bunch of ghosts together for some reason. So I don't know why exactly these two were together. I did like from this format that there was a free retreat Haunter available to us, which meant that you could evolve an active Ghastly, preferably one that knew Stockdunkle, Pitch Dark, and you'd be able to just get it out of there. Lampent, very good, because with that Dodrio that I showed you earlier, you could use Lampent and Chandelure and the promo Litwick and really just score some awesome damage counter advantage onto your opponent. Playing that deck was a true chess match. I really enjoyed the mental grind of playing a dozen rounds of city championships every weekend while that was the format. Okay, so we've got Claw, Snag, Weavile. Once during your turn, you play Weavile from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon. Look at your opponent's hand, choose a card, and discard it. Dark Pokemon destroying your opponent's hand is a recurring theme, and they're great at it. This is not the first time. Sorry. Yeah, no, this is not the first time we saw it. We saw it in SP Pokemon that you would use the Cyrus stuff, Cyrus's Initiative, not Cyrus's Conspiracy, Cyrus's Initiative, and you would use Sableye to go get it out of your deck, and you would try to slam your opponent's hand. Okay, I'm going to put So these were really good in Chandelure, and they were good in Gyarados. I don't think that people had Gyarados figured out quite yet. They were good in really any deck that wanted to take advantage of having an enormous number of resources. Doduo, special enough to me. They're both going to go in one sleeve versus not getting sleeved. Special Dark. Special Dark is one of the weirdest cards in Pokemon history because it's been so different over time. When Special Dark was first printed, it was like a non-poison poison if your Pokemon wasn't a dark Pokemon. So it meant that my Electabuzz could do bonus damage to you, how at the expense of dealing damage to itself. It meant that I could use things like energy absorption on Mewtwo to put dark energies onto it, or let's say one dark energy onto it, take some damage, and then hit you for Cyburn for 50 next turn, which I don't really know that was ever optimal. It was more part of an elaborate way to get stuff back. Yeah, this is taking longer than I was anticipating, so I might just shift to some of the more exciting stuff and do the rest later. Yeah, so got some fun and good looking rares, but not the best stuff. So this Excadrill was fun in the Professor Cup. Now it's kind of the only format. This Zoroark was okay. Yeah, not the good Professor Cup one. Okay, so yeah, let's focus on getting these foils sleeved up. Oh, we've got a magic card in here too. Oh, we've got some G.I. Joe cards. Yeah, this is a stranger box than I anticipated. Yeah, I don't even know what the rarities are on the G.I. Joe guys, so they're gonna really go off to the side. But yeah, let's talk about Quick Search Pidgeot as I deal with sleeving these other cards. Quick Search lets you get any card at all out of your deck. Oh, this Electrode isn't really in nice shape. Quick Search lets you get any card you would like out of your deck in your hand once per turn. Fantastic. I'm just blown away at how good this card is. I guess no one's riffle shuffled this. You can see the reflection of my phone in this guy. The foil is so wild. You got also look at that foil pattern. What they were pushing hard to get this because this had to be specially generated for them. It's not out of the factory or the printer's foil book. But yeah, Quick Search was absolutely bonkers, super good, metagame defining, and the attack isn't bad. The free retreat is excellent. On top of it all, they printed another Pidgeot in the same format that allowed you to shut off your opponent's Quick Search. You had to kind of pick between the two, but if you could just get up and going and recognize that your opponent's only hope was to Quick Search, you could shut them down with the Delta species Pidgeot. They weren't released at exactly the same time, but they were illegal together. It's pretty crazy. I should totally look up the values on these Magic cards, but yeah, this is when I was playing Magic, and I earlier than this to some extent too. But yeah, these are pretty wild cards. Cool that they let you pay life. I think we often enjoy that ability in Pokemon to allow our opponent to draw some prize cards while we get some huge bonus. Okay, Pop 1 Masquerain. Yeah, that's probably as good as rare. Okay, so this Pikachu here. Pikachu has a ton of texture across his entire card. You can, I hope this has the integrity necessary for YouTube, but you can see that the energy symbols are kind of wild, even in the retreat cost and the weakness. They're kind of doing something special. The set symbol, within the art. Kuki Saito was awesome to meet in person. He's fantastic to follow on Twitter if you don't already. I'm probably sound like a broken record to everyone who tunes in all the time. But he really loves to play with the way that light plays across the Pokemon. And I think it's so fitting that one of his pieces of art, which is by itself, even if this wasn't foil, would have great lighting presence. It's so touching and fitting that one of his cards gets that cool treatment. The other thing that he does a fantastic job of is this Pikachu is set in a great field presence. I'm going to put this back. I'll put it in the soft sleeve. I'm slowly talking myself out of these old Ultra Pro sleeves. Yeah, okay, let's keep going here. So got some Curium EXs. One was a promo. I don't know why I was so big on Curium. I love how dopey Darmanitan looks, but it's just not good enough. I swear I was not an Excadrill stan. And again, Jellicent has both male and female Jellicent on the art. Got a pre-release guy there. Mime Jr. is like the desperate guy for those Gengar decks. Disconnect, Zebstrika, along with Electric, were fantastic together in the Professor Cup format that I casually referenced with Excadrill earlier. Excadrill was good because he was good against Chinchino decks as well as the Electric decks. Oh yeah, these are a lot of fun and silly cards from this format. Okay, yeah. So let's while I see some stuff here. Call Energy again, like Rescue Energy. One of the best cards to exist in its format. Possibly one of the best cards to exist ever. Call is fantastic. It allows you to search your deck for 2 Pokemon, put them onto your bench, and end your turn if it's attached to your active. This is perhaps I want to assume nothing is by accident, right? This is one of the best balanced cards. So number one, it allows you to make sure you don't get benched out while you're going first, and you can't play supporters. Some formats you can't play items, whatever. All those formats you're allowed to attach an energy card, and you could conceivably put Call Energy onto your active Pokemon. Fantastic. Number 2, in formats with weird stuff like Power Spray, you can go get the Pokemon you need for Power Spray without committing to playing that Weavile. Fantastic. Better still, evolution decks are able to build a bench, and it's not as strong as Pokemon Collector or Holland Mentor or Professor Elm's training method, Professor Elm's lecture. But who cares? It's an energy card. It's so good. It's doubtful that you'll use it outside of the first turn, but you could. You could use it first turn going second. It's better than nearly every attack that you're going to find on a Pokemon that you want to evolve. It's tough to understand how good it is, but you got to put it onto your active. I love that there's a commitment with that you are putting the energy at risk by putting it onto your active Pokemon. Your opponent's ability to attack and KO your active Pokemon is better than their ability to do so to any of your other Pokemon in play. Very, very well conceived. But if they don't, right? Also, you're probably diversifying what they want to go after. If I'm going to, list some cards that did not exist, but like if we were talking base set and I put a Call Energy onto a Chansey and brought out 2 Abras, that's completely wild. Because even if you Gust of Wind one of them, I'm going to be able to evolve the other. If you somehow get a knockout on my enormous Chansey, I'm guaranteed an Alakazam, pretty much. There's just not much getting in people's way. On top of it, it's kind of nuts that we had these 2 little devils in the same format as Call Energy. So I say that because Smeargle's ability to use Portrait is wild. It's a lot of the potency of Gardevoir's Telepaths on a basic Pokemon. I really don't think that this card was appreciated in its metagame to the extent that it should have been. I think everyone played one. I don't think people were playing 2 or 3 when they should have. I don't think people were playing enough ways to switch, like Warp Point and Unknown Q, they really severely underutilize this. Furthermore, I think that people underutilized weird supporters in their own decks, knowing that you're going to hit certain things on portrait. Being able to go grab a basic energy and a Cyrus's Conspiracy off of your opponent's Cyrus's Conspiracy was really, really cool. Even if you didn't have to use that Cyrus's Conspiracy right away, if you plan on using a BB search, just getting the free card throws it back into the deck. And if your opponent wants to Cyrus chain, you know you're going to get 2 cards off of them easy. They're also, if they're going to Cyrus chain, they're not going to force you into a weird situation where you have to lose your hand for the sake of getting something that you want. Yeah, but getting to use that with Call Energy, or Call Energy on Smeargle, or Call Energy on anyone, and then shaman it away to the appropriate source. There's just a lot of really, really strong options. Okay, so I've got some stuff in here that I'm not going to sleeve because it just sealed wildness. But I guess a chunk of League Broken Time Space, League Snivy, League Dark, and League Houndoom. I should probably come up with a smarter way to store those. Hit me up in the comments if you've got one. Okay, so moving on from Call Energy. Okay, we got a great timeout here from Epic Trading Card Game. Okay, so this Mareep is a misprint. I'm glad I have the regular one next to it. So sorry to Atsuko Nishida, they did not receive credit on all the Mareeps. How does an error like this happen? There's a lot of possibilities. One of the likely possibilities is that these cards are from different print runs, that one print run had an error. Perhaps this was the first print run and this one corrected it. Another possibility is that the card appears multiple times on the print sheet, and somehow, because people were not using what they call flat files, a layer which contained the text information of the artist's name was blinked out. I'm using like terms from Adobe here. If a layer, there's like an eyeball next to the layer, if you blink it out, it's like you can't see it, like the eye is closed. And so sometimes people just make mistakes, and people try to catch them, and it's part of the business. People make mistakes. Sorry for the artist, but we can't be too upset. Oh, so we got a Kuki Saitu Stantler here. Again, I mentioned that light was like a thing of his, and you can really see the shading across Stantler's body. Looks very shapely. Yeah, so I don't know why I've got so much Pop 7 in here, but here we are. Oh, I really wish that Synchro Punch was better. I just, there was no way to get there. Okay. Yeah, wow, there's some real dud cards in here. Okay, Claydol EX. Claydol EX is perhaps the first meme card. Let me know in the comments if you think that Claydol EX is not the first meme card. People in large groups tried to trade for and feign interest in this card at a nationals one year. Because when you look at it with Type Shift and Psychic Boom, it's really, and even Shadow Crush, I guess. When you kind of read this slate of abilities, it's very easy to believe that there is something you are missing that someone else has figured out. The trick was that there wasn't really. Latios EX. Okay, so dragons used to be colorless and weak to colorless. Not good, Flip a coin if heads get an energy for 10 damage. Mewtwo's getting 2 energy and no coin flip. The 10 damage is not that important. Luster Purge, discard 3 energy to do 100. Maybe that's better than Mewtwo's attack. Like, doing a one-hit KO to an EX and drawing 2 prizes is pretty good. Altaria EX, Delta species, water-type Altaria. We may never see another water-type Altaria, so that's kind of neat. Weird that they had an enabler for Stage 2 EXs. When you think about the level of difficulty of getting a Stage 2 EX in play, like, yes, Elements is a great example here. This should by itself should be enough. but it pretty much wasn't, and that's why they needed things like Altaria. But Altaria is a stage 1, and the liability of also being an EX, so not off to good enough. Yeah, once during your turn, you may search discard for 3 energy and attach them to this Pokemon any way you like. If you do, your turn ends. Can't be used if Swampert EX is affected by a special condition. Yeah, not a great condition card. A fun card. I wasn't playing enough when Crystal Guardians was legal. This seems like it could have potential depending on the format, but most formats that's gonna sink before it swims. Okay, so here we got Carablast. Championship Series Carablast. This is a card that I can tell I played a bunch of events. Oh, that's a fake Mewtwo. Big fake. And then we got a regular Hippopotas and a Next Destiny's Arcanine. Okay. I want to be really clear about something. There's something quirky that I enjoy about fake cards. I believe it is supremely dishonest for people to trade fake cards and counterfeit cards without the person who is receiving them knowing that that is what's going on. It is probably illegal, depending on where you are, as well. There was an article recently. Someone got busted for, I think, a shipping container's worth or multiple shipping containers worth of counterfeit cards. Just bad behavior. There's probably financial rewards for getting away with it, but you can't buy a reputation. Simply not worth it. This video has become way longer than I anticipated. I've tried to speed it up a little bit here. I'm gonna look at 1 or 2 more things, and I am gonna try and finish this next time. Okay, so we got some old musty looking clear sleeves. We'll use those in some cards that are not the best. Oh, so this is the Zekrom from ZPST. It's got Bolt Strike and Outrage. It does almost enough damage to knock itself out when it's in the mirror match. These are some of the best sleeves known to man, by the way. Great Easter egg Pikachu hanging in there, and all the energy symbols being different colors. I would love for them to bring this back. I would wear the heck out of clothes with this pattern on it. I cannot get enough of this. I am obsessed. Well, I'm obsessed, but I'm not going to pay the enormous price that these sleeves probably would cost today. But I'm moderately obsessed. Yeah, let's re-sleeve the Zekrom stuff. I love that I'm going to get to use those baller sleeves on cards for some other game where I can have some cards that don't get shuffled in with everything else, and so they just get to sit there looking beautiful. Okay, so we got Emboar, Typhlosion, Curium. Just moving through quick. Okay, Eek Cleffa. Clever of them to... Maybe I've just got enough cards showing here that I just need to go rebuild the truth. Yeah. Wow, this Lugia feels so special, but it's only just a regular foil. Same kind of goes for Dialga. Like they feel like they're doing something out of the ordinary. Mime Jr., I'm like, it's not good, but past me thought it, kind of floated to the top relative to other cards. Durant, that guy's coming back. Ooh. I guess this is a proxy for the good Audino, maybe? No, probably too early. Yeah, I don't know. Take your guesses. Spike-tailed Dragon. Yeah, not a great card for the game that it's from. Ooh. I got a That's Broken from Raw Deal foil. That's pretty good. Raymond of Revelation. Teetering Peaks. Got some nice peaks. Zenith Shadow Force. Yeah, this drawer has got a Wonder of Reverse. This drawer has descended into pure chaos. Thanks for coming by. Gosh, can I? It looks like the remaining is just kind of items, so there's not gonna be anything crazy rare in there. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Yeah, it's almost past my bedtime, folks. We gotta upload this one and call it a day. Let me know what you thought about this, and if you enjoyed it more before or after it descended into chaos. Have a great night, folks. Do all the YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe. Good night.